All right, so today I want to talk about how you can use one of these laws of the universe to really get anything you want in your life, whether it's more money, a better relationship, peace, lack of anxiety, happiness, really you name it. There's all these laws in the universe that you might have heard of. The law of attraction, very, very popular ever since The Secret came out. Law of vibration, law of detachment, law of reciprocity, all these different laws. And you may hear about them and you may think, oh, that's nice, that's cool, maybe I can use that. But it can be very difficult to implement this kind of knowledge into your everyday life. So what I want to do is explain to you a 3-step process. It sounds like such a YouTube video, but it actually is a 3-step process. The 2024 guide to using the law of detachment. So I've done this for myself, so I know it works, and I've been doing this unconsciously for a long time. And as I learn more, I gain the consciousness to be able to do this better, do it more quickly, and do it more effectively. So the law of detachment is one of the fastest ways to get anything you want in life. And it's one of the more paradoxical laws because it says that as you stop caring, as you begin to detach, you start to get what you want. And you may have heard guys like Alan Watts go on their don't try tangents, right? Or just don't try, it'll all come. And if you're in the entrepreneur space like me, or maybe you're just a driven human being, that sounds pretty damn hard, because how can I not try and not care about any results I get? And that's what makes me get everything. So I want to go into a quick, easy breakdown on this 3-step process to get you to where you need to be. So there are 3 levels to detachment. You can think of it like a triangle. There we go. Starting at the top, coming down here, then coming down here, and coming back up to the top. So when we say detach, what does that really mean? Does it mean to just not care? Kind of, but not really. The first level of detachment is detachment from the individual. So my name is Daniel Linger. I have a certain life story. I went to a certain school. I live in a certain city. I live in this Massachusetts, Boston apartment building. It's fantastic. And the first level to detaching is just releasing from that story. So maybe you have negative things in your life, or things that were hard. I know I've had challenges in my life. I think everybody has. And the first step is to let those go and just be with them, right? So maybe you had a heartbreak, right? I think most people have had heartbreak, or some relationship that maybe went south, maybe didn't go the way you wanted it to, and you can just let that be, right? It's already happened. It's happened in the past. And when you can let the story just be the story, right? I have a book right here. Oh, I have a book. I have a lot of books here. The Science of Getting Rich. This book is written. It was written in, 1920 or something. The book has happened. It's here. It's in the pages. I'm not reading it right now. It's already happened. So you can think of your life story like that in a lot of ways, where, hey, the book is written. I don't need to go open up the pages and read about it and think about it and think, oh my God, what did this person think of me? Whatever the story is. So the first step to detaching is you're gonna let the story be written and just let it exist, and just let it exist. Just let it exist. Just let it be written. And when you do that, you may notice yourself start to feel maybe a little bit better. You might see a higher vibration, a higher vibe, or just a little happier. Okay, so that's step 1. Now, step 2 is detachment from timelines. This one is, for me, a little bit harder than the self. The self, I can just let the story be written. When it comes to timelines, I run a business. I want certain things done at certain times, and I create these timelines in my head. And for a lot of men, and I'm sure this is true of women too, but men, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, You want to get the money, you want to get the girl, you want to get the car, right? You want all these things. And it's really common to have a certain timeline of when you think these things are going to happen. Oh, at age 28, I'm going to have this amount of money. At age 31, I'm going to have this car. I'm going to get married at this age, so on and so forth. And that is all well and good. That's great to have a plan. But creating any kind of attachment toward the specificities, I'm not sure if that's a word, of that plan, right? The specifics of that plan will get you caught in the attachment of those specifics. And when you get caught, when you get attached, it inevitably makes you frustrated, right? And it's like, I'm 28 and I don't have XYZ yet. And that frustration will lower your vibration. We're going to talk about vibration in a little bit, and probably more in a future video. But that frustration will lower your vibration, lower your ability to attract, right? And basically stop you getting from what you want. So you see where this is going. So we detach from the self, then we detach from the timelines. And as we detach from those two things, and you just let the story be, and you let the timeline be the timeline, you should start to feel a little bit better, maybe a lot bit better at this point. And then the third one, this is by far the hardest one for me, it might be for you too, is detachment from performance. So for me, I literally run a performance-based marketing company. So you can see how this would be a challenge for me. If you're in corporate America or entrepreneur, musician, whatever, you have probably got the same drive as me, that same mechanism that says you need to perform at a certain level. And this can get very toxic very quick. The harder it is, the more you need to work on it. So if this one's speaking to you, just know that you should probably work on it. So this attachment to performance, the way that something must be, how much money you make, how well you play the guitar, whatever the performance mechanism is for you, that attachment is going to do the same thing as an attachment to the timeline or the attachment to the story. It's going to create frustration. And frustration is very low on the emotional scale, emotional vibration scale. And we're going to tie all this together with the next two big laws. So there's the law of detachment, right? We're going to tie this together with vibration and attraction. It's pretty cool. So when we begin to get attached to whatever it is that we're doing and the performance isn't the way it needs to be, we start focusing on the problem, we start focusing on the way it's not, and then we get more of that, as opposed to, ideally, you're just training your mind to focus on the solution. But in order to get there, you need to detach, right? So you detach from the problem or the lack of performance, or maybe you're doing great, maybe you're have an awesome performance and you're really attached to that and you're like, I'm the best, and then your ego gets tripping out, right? So you create this holy trifecta of detachment, right? You detach from the story, you let the book be written. You detach from the timelines, you let time unfold as it's supposed to, and then you detach from the performance. Even if you had a bad month, even if you sucked, it's okay. You're still here. You're still here in the now, right? And when you do that, this really does get better with time. You'll begin to get more peaceful, right? And you'll just start to be happier, and people will notice it. And this is where the logistics of everything comes in. When people notice that you're happier and you're easier to talk to and you're easier to communicate with, well, all of a sudden, the work that you start doing, guess what? It's better. Because you're not so damn stressed out about, I don't have my Lamborghini, I'm 24 years old. Well, something's wrong, right? So you start detaching from all these things, and what ends up happening too is you activate these other laws, right? And law of vibration leads to law of attraction. So it's really this trifecta. But as we create out of a higher vibration, we start to create better things. And as we create better things, we start to attract better opportunities. But that all starts with detaching from yourself, your story, the timelines, and your performance, and maintaining that throughout your day, no matter what the emotions are, no matter what comes up. And then as you get better and better and better at that, you get better and better at maintaining a high positive vibration, which attracts opportunities, which attracts people, which attracts your best self and your best work. So the law of attachment is very, very powerful. The law of detachment is very powerful. The law of attraction is too. And I hope this little 3-step process is something you can implement today and not just have this be another YouTube video you watched. So give it a go. Give it a go right now. If you haven't already done it in this video, give it a go and go about your day. And if it makes an impact, keep doing it. And if you want to give me some love, feel free to subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment, let people know what worked for you, maybe things that you got stuck on. You guys can chat in the comments and make it better for each other. So that's it. I will see you very, very soon.